Yet she worried there were more men who could be called in to assist in finding her. She refused to let that happen. Leaping over low bushes and using the larger trees for cover helped create a bigger gap from the men behind her. They were swearing and blaming each other for her escape, which made her smile grimly. When exhaustion finally overwhelmed her, she dropped behind a large tree and took several deep breaths in an attempt to calm her racing heart. She listened intently, but didn't hear anything. Because the men had stopped searching? Or because they'd called in reinforcements and were waiting for them to arrive? She shivered and took in another deep breath. No sense in borrowing trouble, as her mother liked to say. Naomi would have to take the threats one at a time. Peering around the tree trunk, she searched for any sign of the men. Darkness was falling fast, which was both a blessing and a curse. When she didn't see anything behind her, she decided to keep going, but quietly this time. She desperately wanted more distance between herself and the leering man. Her t-shirt was torn, her right shoulder and elbow throbbing painfully from where she'd hit the pavement. She wore running shoes, which weren't as good over the rough terrain as sturdy hiking boots. Still, Naomi pressed forward, moving silently through the woods. Estimating the time to be about 8:30 in the evening, she figured she had barely 30 minutes of daylight yet, maybe less, considering her position beneath a thick canopy of trees. Thankfully, the June temperatures were warm. While she wasn't an avid camper, she took some comfort in knowing she wouldn't freeze to death if she had to spend the night in the woods. Not that there weren't other dangers, like more men searching for her. Oh, and wild animals, like mountain lions and bears. Gulp. Naomi moved in what she hoped was a parallel path to the road. She didn't want to meet up with the leering man and his buddy, but she didn't want to get lost in the forest either. Would they expect her to follow the road? Had they gone back to get the car? Were they out on the road, waiting for her to emerge from the brush? Naomi wasn't sure what to do other than continue moving through the woods. Time had no meaning, although her surroundings grew darker and darker as the sun dropped below the horizon. When she stumbled across what looked in the darkness to be an actual hiking trail, she hesitated. Use the trail or stay hidden? Torn with indecision, she glanced up toward the dark sky. Lord, help me, guide me. A sense of peace draped her like a cloak. She glanced back at the trail, noting it headed down the slope of the mountain in the general direction where she believed the road to be located. Steeling her resolve, she walked along the path, alert to any hint of someone following. She was surrounded by silence, broken only by the occasional hooting of an owl or belching tree frog. She felt alone in this section of the woods. For now. After another 10 minutes of hiking, she abruptly stopped when she caught a glimpse of the blacktop mountain road between the trees. Her pulse skyrocketed, and she dropped down along the edge of the trail, intently watching. The vehicle the men had used to rear-end her was an older model black Buick. But in the darkness, she'd never be able to tell if the car going past on the road was a Buick or something else. She swallowed hard. Naomi wasn't sure how long she crouched there, but when her knees protested the position, she slowly rose and continued easing down the trail. No easy task in the darkness that both shielded her and created a treacherous descent. When she rounded a curve, the road disappeared from sight. She decided leaving the trail was probably best, to stay hidden from view. But moving through the brush created more noise than she liked. Again, she was torn by indecision. She took one step forward, then another. The rumbling sound of an engine